When Solomon was made king by his father David, David gave this instruction to Zadok the priest, Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada. Have Solomon mount a mule and take him to Gihon, which was just outside the walls of Jerusalem in the Kidron Valley. There, Zadok and Nathan were to anoint Solomon as king over Israel. So that's exactly what they did. After that, they sounded the trumpet, and this is what 1 Kings 1, verses 39 and 40 says. All the people shouted, "Long live King Solomon!" And all the people went up after him, playing pipes and rejoicing greatly, so that the ground shook with the sound. David's son rode into Jerusalem on a mule, which is a horse-donkey mix, after being anointed a king, and he was met with loud cheering and shouts. Does that sound familiar? About 500 years after Solomon, Zechariah, who was a prophet, he promised that this Davidic king would come riding on a donkey. He wrote, "Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." And about 500 years after Zechariah, here comes the descendant of David, Jesus, who rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. Interestingly enough, he also came through the Kidron Valley into Jerusalem through the eastern gate. Much like Solomon, he was greeted as a king with loud shouts. But these weren't shouts of "Long live King Jesus," but they were shouting, "Hosanna," which means save. They wanted Jesus to save them, which is exactly what Jesus came to do. But maybe not in the way that anyone would have thought. Perhaps they wanted to be saved in an earthly, glorious sense, saving from the Romans and from oppression. But Jesus came to save them from a greater enemy that was bringing a far worse oppression than the Romans ever could. Jesus came to save from sin, from death, and from the devil. And he would not save through bows and spears and armies. He would save through sacrifice, in humility. Just like he rode into Jerusalem in humility, he would hang on the cross in humility. Yet he was the exact king that we needed, and he brought the exact kind of saving that we needed. Through Jesus, your king, your sins have been forgiven. You have peace with God and peace from God. Through Jesus, you get to live this life with the true, righteous, and victorious king ruling your heart. The people were right to shout this in the rejoicing, and in faith, we join them. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest.